Hey guys, I see lower back pain all the time. Now, when I see people with low back pain, they always obviously have very tight backs. But one of the other things they often have is very tight hips. So I'm going to show you how to stretch your hips in a couple of different ways. The first is in a seated position. If you work in an office or you're out and about and you don't really want to be on the floor, this is a great way to do it. So start on the edge of a chair as far forward as you can. Put one leg on top of the other leg. I like to hold onto my shins just to keep it in place, and then with my elbow I'll push that knee down as far as I can. You should be feeling that in your hip just on the side here. If you don't, push that knee further down, lift your chest up and lean forward from your stomach. So from here, lean forward as far as you can and hold. So I like to do that for about 10 to 15 seconds. From there, what I will often do is then take my knee up and over towards the opposite shoulder. And so I'll pull that across as far as I can. And now I should be feeling that through the buttocks. Again, I'll hold that for 15 to 20 seconds and then go back into the other stretch for the hip. Alright, so this is the same stretch as the one we have just done. I'm going to show you two versions now. One if you are super inflexible and one if you are slightly more flexible. So the first one is to have your leg out straight. Bring this, the hip that you want to stretch, bring this leg across and put your ankle on top of your thigh. Again, hold onto your shins and push your knee down. Now, if you're quite inflexible and you find it hard to lean forwards, take one hand behind you and push this knee down. You can either do it the same side or you can change your arms around and push down away this way. One thing to note about all of these stretches is when you're setting yourself up, make sure your ankle is fully over that thigh. So you're not bending at the ankle, so your foot isn't resting on your thigh, because that will stretch your ligaments too much, so it could give you some ankle problems. Now, once you've done this one, of course you can do the same thing, bring that knee up and over to the other side. But the one I like to do is to have my leg bent underneath, and then the one I want to stretch, I'll bring up on top and go from here. So I'm going to hold onto my shin, and with my elbow I'm going to push down. To make it more intense, lift your chest and push your belly forwards. If again you're finding it difficult to sit in this position, you can put one hand behind you and use a straight arm to push that knee down. So again, about 15 to 20 seconds, hold in one position and then up and over. So we're stretching now through the buttock. Hold that for 15 to 20 seconds and repeat. Now, following on from this, these are stretching the muscles quite nicely, but we can also get into the hip joint itself. I call this the 90-90 stretch, and some people call it the hurdle stretch. So what you're going to do is to sit yourself like so. So one knee, the back knee is at 90 degrees here. The hips are at 90 degrees to each other, and the front knee is at 90 degrees. From here, you're going to try and get your back bum cheek down towards the floor, and you're trying to push that down as much as you can. It's quite uncomfortable, it's quite painful, but if you've got tight hips, this is something you really need to do. So you're pushing that hip down towards the floor, and I'm going to hold this for about a minute. From there, what I tell people to do is then to take this knee, this back knee, up and out as far as they can and back down. And I get them to do this about 10 times. So up and out. And as you're doing this, what you're trying to do is to take that joint through a really painful range. The more painful it is, the more that means you're working into the tendons, the ligaments, and the joint capsule itself. So it's kind of breaking down all that tightness, all those adhesions in that hip joint. Once you've done 10 of these, then flip over onto the other side. Set yourself up in the same way. So your knee is at 90 degrees, front knee is at 90 degrees, and your hips are at 90 degrees. Push that back, bum cheek down, and then after about a minute, up and down 10 times on that side as well. So the more you do these stretches, obviously the more flexible your hips are going to become, the less strain it's going to put on your lower back. So if you have low back pain, I would suggest doing this stretch at least every other day. And obviously the more you do it, the looser everything is going to become, and hopefully the less pain you're going to be in. So guys, if that has helped, or you have any questions, stick that in the comment section below. Let me know how you get on with that, and I will see you in the next video.